That's the Good Things. I'm your host, Rebecca Turner. Don't forget, you can listen to Good Things. We are streaming live over at SuperTalk.fm. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk Mississippi app. And, of course, you can always find us, too, on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget about watching us. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And it's always a good thing to get a good update from our friends and neighbors in Rolling Fork, especially since they have not let up on their comeback efforts since the tornado in March of 2023. Joining us is one of our favorites, Pastor Britt Williamson. He's the senior pastor at First Baptist Church of Rolling Fork, and he's also with Rolling Fork Rising. So welcome back, Pastor.
Thank you for having me, Rebecca.
Every time I see something positive about Rolling Fork, I'm like, let me get Pastor on so he can catch us up on all the good efforts that's still going on there to make it, maybe not make it what it once was, but at least give people the opportunity to call it home again. And that's what Rolling Fork Rising has been doing. So tomorrow's a special day. Set us up. What's happening tomorrow?
So we have completed our first house. Our first family will be taking possession of that house tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We have a celebration ceremony. We're going to be praising and thanking the Lord for giving us this vision, funding this vision, sending us volunteers from 11 states across the United States to help us build on our houses. And we finally got the first one done, and it's a red letter day for us to really just stop and celebrate all that God's done. A special day for this family, the family that's going in this house, have been displaced since March of 23. They spent around 7 months in a hotel in Greenville. The mother had to quit her job at the local school district, take a job in Greenville. The children had to move to the Greenville school system, and they're all looking forward to be able to get back to Rolling Fork, get back home, get back to their friends that they've grown up going to school with, and we're just really happy for them.
So I know one of the unique things that Rolling Fork Rising sort of recognized, Pastor, was that many of the residents in Rolling Fork weren't homeowners. They were either renting apartments or renting homes or something of that nature. And when those got demolished, well, you can understand why that would make it even harder for them to be able to come back home. So will she be able to own this home for her family, or will this also be a rental situation as she transitions?
No, we are not doing rental properties. At 1 o'clock, I'm meeting with her and her children, and she will own that house at 1 o'clock. And at 2 o'clock, we're going to have the celebration, and so this will be her house. She'll own it. She'll own the property. She'll own everything inside of it.
Praise God, right, Pastor?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I know this has been a long time in the making, actually. I mean, I feel like Rolling Fork bounced back literally the day after the tornado. You guys at First Baptist Church of Rolling Fork were holding services, Easter services, and all the things after the devastation. But how long has Rolling Fork Rising kind of been after this? How long did you have the dream and the vision for these homes to where we are now to hand over the keys tomorrow?
It really came about in the month after the tornado in April, when through the immediate disaster assistance we were doing through the church, we discovered how big a population of renters that we have. And due to the real estate prices and the multi-generational poverty over here in the South Delta, there's nothing for a renter to be able to help them rebuild. There's no governmental programs like the homeowner side can get. And so it started kind of brewing in our minds in April of last year. We had our first meeting in May, and then June the 2nd, our nonprofit was formed, and we filed our articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State. And then in February of this year, we got our IRS determination letter where we're a full-fledged 501c3 nonprofit. So it's a lot of work on the house side, building the houses, but a lot of work on the administrative side of all the paperwork that you have to do to, make sure you're a nonprofit and stay legitimate.
Which you guys are going to definitely do, and I know you've mentioned here on Good Things, y'all aren't putting a number on however many houses, you're just following God's lead and sort of seeing how it goes. So I won't ask that specific question again, but I know you're turning over this one tomorrow. Are we moving at least one more direction, or what's the future for Rolling Fort Rising after you hand over the keys tomorrow?
So after we turn over the possession of this house, we have 5 other houses already in the construction phase. Our second house, that homeowner should be taking possession of that house within the next 2 to 4 weeks. Our other 4 houses are anywhere from having sheetrock put in and the sheetrock floated all the way up to the trusses on the house. And we've already identified the next 4 properties where we're going to be pouring foundations. So that's on the homeowner side, the house building side. On the program side, we currently have 93 families in our program. We have 7 that have been approved for houses. We have 5 more families we'll be voting on as our board at the end of this month. And I just got an email this week from our case managers with another 20 families that'll be starting the program in May. So that'll put us over 110, 113 families. And so, I do get that question all the time, how many houses are you going to build? And my answer, as long as God keeps providing us the funds to buy the material, and He keeps providing the volunteers that are coming in from all over the country, we're going to keep building houses and try to meet the need for every family that has a need.
Does it bring you encouragement, Pastor, that you have over 100 families that still want to call Rolling Fork home because they could have went ahead and transitioned into nearby communities, or we saw like in Katrina, a lot of folks maybe scattered to other cities during that sort of transitional time and just never came home. So is it good for the city to see that these individuals want to come back and call Rolling Fork home?
It is for me. It's very encouraging for me being a local pastor, and part of this program was if we lose 60% of our population, it's really going to be detrimental to our city and our community. And to see this many families wanting to come back, most of these families are still displaced. They're living in Greenville, Vicksburg, Yazoo City. A lot of these families are also living with other family members inside of Rolling Fork. And so it's a very stressful situation for the families and the children that are involved with being uprooted and moved. And so any kind of semblance of normalcy, being able to bring them back home and for them wanting to come back home is very encouraging to me.
How long is the program that Rolling Fort Rising puts the potential homeowner through before they make the decision? And I know it's not that you made the decision on that family. There's only so many houses at a time that can be voted on, so it's a little more complicated than that. But how long is y'all's homeownership program that these families go through?
So that's really up to the families. We do classes that take between 20 and 30 families at a time. It's a 1-hour class that I teach. It's called Foundation of Hope. It talks about the process, how they can get from the start line to the finish line to get approved for a house. Then they have to do 2 3-hour financial literacy courses, which are taught by local employees of local banks that are around. Then they have to do a 3-hour homeowner class, which is material we've got from Mississippi State University, their extension center. And then the last thing they have to do is 3 1-hour counseling sessions. And so we're trying to take a holistic approach and counter their mind with giving them education of how, not only with home ownership, but with other ways in their life they can break multi-generational poverty, but also on the emotional side of getting them counseling so that if and when they go into a home, they'll be on the road to recovery emotionally. And so it's really up to the family. The faster they complete that, the faster they will be up for consideration for a house. Our first class was in August of last year, and our most recent class was in February of this year. And so we already have families in December class and the February class that are finished and either been approved or up for approval. And so that's one of the things I tell them at the first class that I teach is it's really dependent upon you and how bad you want it and how motivated you are to complete the process.
Well, I am motivated, Pastor, that you guys get to hand over your first set of keys tomorrow. I think that's right around 2 p.m., so we'll be thinking about you here on Good Things. But if people want to keep up, is Rolling Fort Rising Facebook page the best way to do it?
It is. We do have a website, www.rollingfortrising.org, but most of our information is put on our Facebook page.
All righty. Well, I'll be keeping an eye on you, Pastor, and all the good things that are going on there, so I appreciate your time.
All right, I just want to say I appreciate you. You've had us on several times. You've had the local Rotary International Club president on, and they've been a great partner of ours. And I just appreciate you not only, doing news about positive things happening, but helping us, get the word out about what we're doing over here to help rebuild Rolling Forward.